Good evening. I'm Mo Duran. I'm the president of the Upland Police Management Association. I came here tonight to reiterate much of what we discussed at last Monday's meeting. And basically, in a nutshell, it was that the Upland Police Management Association, a management association, keep in mind that that's what I'm saying, a management association comprised of managers, voted and all agreed that there was no confidence in Ms. Vagnazzi's ability to serve as the city manager. We also share the same voice as the Upland POA, the Police Officers Association, who cannot be here tonight, and asked me to reiterate that point for them. As I sat here tonight, I listened to some of the commentary, and I want to address an issue that I heard. As a PMA president, it would be irresponsible for me to not address this issue. During council communications, I heard a comment made by Mayor Stone that said that the council is aware, or the council gives direction when it comes to negotiations. I would ask that that comment be clarified at some point, because right now some of your groups are at impasse. And if that is the council's direction to go to impasse, then it's important for the associations to know this. I've been involved in negotiations for going on almost a decade now. I met Mayor Stone when she was first running for council. I met Mr. Velto when he first ran for council. So I've been doing this for a long time. My goal here is not to get a hefty compensation package. My goal is to make sure that the employees are taken care of properly and to make sure that the city strives, because without the city lasting, we have nothing at the end. I think it's very important to understand that we as a group look at everything that's going on. I can tell you right now that I know for a fact that this council is not aware of everything that's going on with regards to negotiations, because several of you have voiced to me that you don't know what's going on, that we're not allowed to talk about it because of whatever provisions you have within your duties. So I find it very difficult to believe that the council is giving direction when council members don't even know what's going on. And I think it's very important that that's something that does get clarified. I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot per se. I've had a working relationship with just about everybody here, and I try to keep it very professional with everybody. My concern tonight is not as an individual person, it's as a representative of the organization that I lead, voted on by the organization. Thank you.
After Ms. McCormick is Natasha Walton.
Madam Mayor, may I ask some clarification from our city attorney on something here? I tried to do this at the last meeting and I didn't articulate it very well, and I may be putting you on the spot on this. But I remember in 2018, the former city council, we adopted a resolution that stated that city council was not to speak to city employees regarding negotiations at all. Is my memory correct, or do you need some time to take a look at that? I know you guys are looking, because this isn't something that we've talked about, and I remember
there was a resolution. I don't recall a resolution. If there was a resolution, I can review it, but I will say what you can't do, obviously, you can't tell councilmen what to do or not do, but obviously you can't disclose anything that's discussed in the closed session, who said what, or what the terms are, or what the council direction is. That's clear under the law, under the Brown Act. But I'd have to review that resolution, and I honestly don't recall it.
I would love some clarification on that, because I do recall having a difficult discussion with the former city manager about going to him. Mr. Peelman, Officer Peelman, asked me to relay that there were some problems with the attorney. They felt that there was some problems with some, that the attorney was not moving negotiations forward. So all I did was contact
that attorney, not this guy, but
right. Okay. And so I just contacted Mr. Manis, and I said, I just was told to relay to you that there's some problems with he thought there were some problems with the attorney, and he said, you're not allowed to talk to about negotiations with them. And I thought, well, I'm not discussing negotiations. I'm just conveying a message of concern.
I will look for that resolution.
Yeah, that would.
I can't tell you.
I've sent it to you. You have it.
Oh, do I? I just haven't had it. You did it
Okay,
today?
I'm going to read this on the spot. I will say this, though. Common practice, and this is decades of looking at these things, is if you have a she's popping back up. If you have a negotiator who's going to be believed by the people you're negotiating with, that he speaks with the authority and the direction of the council, but then council people, not necessarily disclosing what's in closed session, but council people talk directly with the labor organization and negotiators, there's no point in talking to the lawyer because you're talking directly to the principal. So generally speaking, that's generally speaking a rule that both sides abide by in general, but I'm happy to look at that resolution and get back to Jeanette. Well, I'll look at it first thing in the morning and get back to Jeanette. I don't want to try to read it here and pretend I can give you a 10-second interpretation.
Okay, I have it. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, you can call me then if you want. I'll look at it too.
Maybe what I should do is then forward it on to everybody, because I don't think the new council knows anything about this.
Okay.
Or ask Ms. Vagnozzi to forward it on, because, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't recall
That's okay. And I understand the reason why you shouldn't negotiate or say this is what we've talked about, or this is what we will do, or this is what I will do. I understand that, but for me to be criticized for just going and saying, hey, I think there may be a problem, I'm relaying a concern that negotiations are being stalled because the lawyer is trying to turn a lot of money.
Doing something other than following the council direction.
Exactly. I was just, to me, that wasn't negotiations at all. So that's,
I get that.
but that's past. But I wanted direction for the future on that. If in fact we can talk about things like that, if we can talk, what are your concerns? I'm not telling you mine, but I want to hear your concerns. That's another story. Is that?
Well, from a legal point of view, I can't tell an elected official not to have a conversation like that, so long as you're not displacing the council's negotiator. Right.
So then the resolution, because I thought the resolution was pretty clear but I'll have to read that again.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Sorry, go right ahead, Ms. McCormick.
Thank you. That was a little bit like tennis, it was fascinating.